The 2022 NFL Draft is officially here. Welcome in, everyone. Leandre Fox here in the Las Vegas Review-Journal studio. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Vegas Nation pre-draft show, sponsored by Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, your destination resort for football fans in Las Vegas. History will be made today as Las Vegas finally gets the opportunity to host the NFL Draft. This event has been years in the making, and our team has you covered. All week, we have been down on the Strip checking out the red carpet, the NFL Draft experience, and all of the attractions surrounding the event. Like I said, our Vegas Nation team has you covered from all angles. So let's toss it out to Cassie Soto, who joins us down from the Strip at the Draft Theater. Cass, how's it looking out there?
Thanks so much, Dre. That's right. Cassie Soto and Adam Hill here in front of the NFL Draft Theater, the main stage where in just a couple of hours, Commissioner Roger Goodell will be announcing today's picks. Adam, this theater really came together, seems like almost overnight, and it is ready to go. And it is, you know, more than anything, what I really appreciate of this year's draft is it is so Vegas. You've got the playing cards, you've got the neon. They really played up Vegas for this year's draft.
They did, for sure. And you can see Vegas everywhere here, and that's part of what they do when they travel around these different markets is really incorporate some of the local feeling. We see it here, as you said, with the trading cards, with the backdrop of the high roller right behind us. And you're right, it came together so quickly. We were here 2 days ago. It looked like they were nowhere close to ready. We were here yesterday at the experience. Didn't look like they were ready. Now they are ready to go, and we're going to hear some draft picks coming up. The culmination of like 5 years of process getting ready for this night in just a couple of hours.
And I don't think it can get lost, Adam, that this has been 5 years in the making. Vegas was supposed to host the draft in 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic canceled that, obviously. And now the league and Las Vegas officials were able to refine their plans to be able to get this thing up and going. Like we said, in just a matter of a couple days, it seemed like. How big, again, I don't think we can just emphasize how big this is for the city of Las Vegas to have the NFL logo here with Las Vegas branding.
Well, you think about, we've told the story millions of times, but the fact that the Super Bowl was not allowed to show a promo for the show Las Vegas on NBC only a few years ago. It's less than a decade ago. Now look around us. It's crazy. The Super Bowl is coming. The NFL Draft, really the second biggest event the NFL does. It's here. The Pro Bowl is just here. We feel like Las Vegas is going to kind of be the home of the NFL. Anytime there's a big event, it's going to be coming to Las Vegas, and I think the city should be really excited about that.
Yeah. Well, final one for you. What can you tell us about the fan experience that we've seen so far today? We've seen fans. We found a Jags fan, so there's been fans of every 32 team here today. Adam, their experience so far, what do you hear in the sights and the sounds?
Yeah, people are excited. They love it. They're experiencing all the things that the draft has to offer, like from the vertical jump test to the 40, all of those things. But it's really about the draft. It's about who your team is going to pick. And one of the things the NFL sells is hope and optimism, especially on draft day. Every team wins on draft day. That's the beauty of it. They're all going to get players. They're all going to say, this is the guy that's going to put us over the top. So all these fans are excited. Texans fans are excited. I mean, there's no reason for them to be, but they are. Like, all the fans are excited about this. So I think that's the really cool thing to take away from this. And, we're going to hear every single team in order come out and say, this is the guy that's going to win a Super Bowl for us. And they're mostly going to be wrong, but we can't really tell them that right now.
Well, that'll do it from us here at the Draft Theater here on the main stage of the NFL experience. Let's go ahead and toss things over now to James Schaefer, who was able to hear from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell earlier this morning.
Cassie, we're in front of Bellagio Fountains where we are seeing throngs of crowds. Although there was some wind earlier today, that doesn't seem to have deterred much of anyone here. We're seeing as people are walking all the way from Cosmo all the way down to Flamingo where roads are closed. But earlier today, we did go to a press conference hosted by Governor Sisolak and the Clark County Commission, where we heard Roger Goodell speak.
We expect somewhere near 70 million people to be watching. I know you're used to big events. I know you're going to make this a big event, but hopefully we can show all the great things that are going on in this community.
After Goodell made some statements, the next speaker, Clark County Commissioner Jim Gibson, made a grand reveal.
We're thrilled to celebrate in true Vegas style with a symbolic gesture that is reflective of the incredible scope and scale of the NFL Draft right here in Clark County, Las Vegas, Nevada. So, if you look around, this today and through the weekend is no longer Las Vegas Boulevard in this section. Rather, it is Draft Drive
So you heard it here first. This portion of Las Vegas Boulevard between Bellagio and Flamingo has been renamed Draft Drive. So if you are planning on coming down here, make sure to update your Google Maps because you don't want to get lost. Next, we're going to hear from Johnny Katz, who's down at the red carpet. Johnny, how's it going down there?
Hello everybody, this is John Katz, the latest Katz in the Las Vegas Review Journal, PA, every day and online all the time here at the purple carpet. The NFL draft, we're having all the prospects are starting to come down the line. McElroy, Charles Cross, Jordan Davis, Sauce Gardner, Kyler Gordon in the mix, Aiden Hutchinson. You can see 20 of them total coming down the red carpet line. Later on, we're going to have Weezer at the NFL Draft Theater at Lake Promenade. That's just across from where we are right now at Bellagio Fountain. A lot of energy around Las Vegas right now. We're going to go to the Raiders official NFL draft party at Dre's, also at the Cromwell later on. And we've heard from Mark Davis today, the Raiders owner, who says that Las Vegas is without peer when it comes to NFL cities that can host the draft, given all of the planning and execution that has gone into the event. We'd all like to see it happen annually. Probably too early to say that, but it is time to get it on.
Welcome back to the Las Vegas Review Journal studio. Like I said, our crew is all over town ready to bring you the latest from the 2022 NFL Draft taking place right here in Las Vegas. Now, Raiders fans are probably a little more relaxed this time around, being that the team does not have a first-round pick this year. Actually, the Raiders currently do not have a draft pick in the first or second round because of the trade with the Green Bay Packers to acquire Davante Adams. We won't get to see the direction the new regime of head coach Josh McDaniels and general manager Dave Ziegler go in until the third round, barring a major trade, of course. And the rumors have been swirling all week. The Adams deal did, of course, bring one of the best wideouts in the game to the Silver and Black and secured a good friend of quarterback Derek Carr dating back to their college days at Fresno State. This offseason, the Raiders also brought in the likes of Chandler Jones and Rock Ya-Sin and signed Max Crosby and Derek Carr to contract extensions. For more on the Silver and Black, let's go out to Heidi Fang, who is at Allegiant Stadium. Heidi?
Heidi Fang here at Allegiant Stadium, where right now Darren Waller and Clelin Ferrell are behind me signing autographs with the USAA Salute to Service partner here for the NFL. Earlier we were able to speak with them about their thoughts on some of their new teammates, particularly Chandler Jones, Clelin Ferrell spoke about, and Darren Waller spoke about Davante Adams.
A calm demeanor is the first thing that steps out to me. He's not somebody that's brash and, he could be in your face and have his chest out like I'm the best receiver doing this, but he's a calm guy. He shows up to work and wants to get to know people. And that's a guy that you want to look to because you can see him leading, but at the same time, he's just one of you, and that's what makes football fun.
He's been major. I think, dealing with people, I'm a very big people person, so it's not so much, obviously, I consider him perennial Hall of Famer, 117 sacks, watched him ever since I came out of college and watched him since he was a little kid, even coming up through all his college career and the NFL. I think just his spirit and just how open he is to getting young guys around, and he's opened his arms to me. And I think that's something that, a lot of guys in this league don't really get to experience because it's so competitive. It's very rare that you get to meet people that will take you in.
In addition, we were able to speak to Clelin Ferrell about his draft experience.
That was a crazy experience for me just because of the fact I'll never forget it because everybody had wanted me to go to the draft, but I was such a, I come from a very big family, and I just remember wanting to have something in my hometown. But I specifically remember, and I was telling someone this story too, I didn't really realize the impact that it had until when my name did get called, and I look over my shoulder, and I got a friend who I used to wear his clothes growing up, and he's not blood anything, but I see him boo-hooing like it's his wedding or something. He's just boo. He's just drenched in tears, and I'm thinking did somebody die? And he's just no, I'm just so happy. You know what I mean? So it made me understand how much of a bigger thing it was than just me. So that always will stick for me for the rest of my life for sure.
Thank you, Heidi. Before we go, we'd like to take a look at some social media as prospects and fans pour in from all over for the draft. First up, we have the mayor of Flavortown and Raider Nation's own Guy Fieri putting in the call to Coach McDaniels and GM Ziegler. Let's get this man in the war room. who's going to say no to the mayor of Flavortown? And nobody does it quite like Las Vegas. I agree. A couple of the statues on the strip ready for this weekend's festivities, donning eye black, and Caesar putting on the jersey. And a special one for you all. Review Journal's own Mick Akers was checking out the NFL draft experience yesterday. Actually seemed to be doing pretty well kicking some field goals. Until, well, let's check it out.
Daniel Carlson, I don't think is going to be here, the kicker for the Raiders. He might be nervous, though. I just saw our colleague Mick Akers drill a field goal from like 20 yards as we're doing this live hit. Like, he might be taking Daniel Carlson's job at some point. That's impressive. He might try to do it. I think he's going to do it again here. Hold on. Okay, Mick, nice approach. Oh, no. Oh, after I just talked him up and that happened?
Thanks so much for tuning in to our Vegas Nation pre-draft show sponsored by Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, your destination resort for football fans in Las Vegas. For all of your smart takes and fast coverage throughout the draft, including a day one recap later on tonight, go to vegasnation.com. For our entire Vegas Nation crew, I'm Leandre Fox. Thank you so much for watching.